There is another update. This is from developers. This got released today. So released October 22nd. Developers answer even more of your questions. So just some quick questions. We'll just touch on these. I don't have any here, but we'll just touch on them right quick. Will they add more servers? Will you add more servers like somewhere in Asia? So to get the Asian players off the North American servers and play on their own. So we're not having to deal with all these ping issues. We've considered, as we'd like to better serve players in Asia. Right now, we're evaluating infrastructure options and player demand, but we don't have anything firm to share just yet. Why is gifting an edition limited to just a standard edition? Our expanded editions are bundled products, the standard edition plus extra perks on top. At this time, it isn't technically possible to gift higher bundles. More third-party sellers are popping up advertising cheats for the game. Oh, that's horrible. Are you concerned about this? We take player concerns about cheating very seriously. I would hope so. It'll kill your game. We continuously monitor cheat sources and investigate in-game reports of suspicious behavior, taking action against users found to use illicit software. Good. Gameplay questions. Will the various random civilian items we find, vases, electronics, or other storage junk, have uses beyond refining? Will they gain new uses, like being handed for quests or using crafting recipes? Currently, there's no reason to take any of it, and containers are filled with these. Yes, we're going to make simple looting objects more valuable, and we will reveal more details when it's closer to being ready. These definitely should be crafting recipes. Like if I, like we have them in there now, which is great, but there should be more of them. And some of these guns and attachments, everything else, honestly, they really shouldn't be able to be printed in the 3D printer, especially the high end stuff. Because all you're having right now is people run through the monolith to get to the high end stuff really, really quickly, and now they sit around all day with the high end guns and they don't have to worry about it, right? So some of these high end stuff, maybe even the bullets, maybe that stuff should be crafted via different, different blueprints, different items you have to find in game. Make the buggers go and look for it, make them work for it instead of just having unlimited supplies. Why are the per action chrono trace yield numbers removed from the replicator UI, and can they be restored? Chrono trace rewards per action now scale dynamically. The first instance of an action rewards the most traces with diminishing returns on repeats. Different types of items also grant different numbers per action. For example, monster kills with a pistol grant more chrono traces compared to an SMG, as it's more difficult to secure pistol kills. Makes sense. Since there's no longer a fixed number to show, we can't display it directly. You mentioned in recent Q&As that you'll expand the statistics shown on weapons. Will the raw damage of every caliber be shown when hovering over a gun or the ammo? Instead of a single damage figure, which can be too abstract, further information will break down ballistic properties like muzzle velocity, velocity drop off, over distance, and armor piercing capability. This gives a clearer picture of how each caliber actually performs. Are you planning on clarifying or standardizing attachments? So many dovetail mount scopes can't be equipped or to dovetail rails, and it's so confusing as to why. I agree. We are indeed thinking about this, but it's not so simple, especially with Soviet era optics that vary in mounting height. Some scopes can't physically align. For example, the scope PSO marksman four times magnifying, made for the SVD, can't fit an AK as an AK's receiver is too high. Some other optics can technically fit, but they end up being so high above the barrel that it makes aiming very difficult. Will we redesign the attachment system for more intuitive compatibility? But this overhaul will not be completed immediately. So we're going to have to hold on for a little while, guys. Optics feel very difficult to find and raid through loot. That is true. What is the plan for these? Most optics are already be unlocked via Monolith research, then purchased from shop or crafted after being fully researched. A handful like the Mosin sniper rifle scopes remain only found in raid. I don't disagree with that. I think that's a good idea. Anything high powered should be like that. Or again, crafted via finding the right things. This loot can feel rare, but we continually monitor drop rates and player feedback. For example, we recently increased the Mosin sniper rifle scope spawn chance to keep tuning these odds. Airdrops rarely contain worthwhile gear, and their sound is too loud at long range. Will you improve them? You know what? They actually do suck, and they're not found in raid. So airdrops are good to camp. Sometimes they might get you something out of a jam, but a lot of times they ain't worth going to. The issue of the airdrop sound playing at full volume at any distance is a bug. Did not know that. We will fix it. We are also going to be boosting the value of loot and airdrops so they're more enticing to approach. Nice. The M11OA1, which seems like the meta gun, especially with the thermal and still present 20 round mags, is still too strong and dominates with his two tap kills. Will you nerf it? The game is becoming a M11 fest, which makes games repetitive and over time less interesting to play. I agree. Weapon balance is ongoing process driven by usage, stats, and feedback, and it's constantly being reviewed. We've noticed this gun high pick rate, and we're preparing adjustments to ensure a wider variety of guns. So that's the thing. Like I've been saying the same thing to the guys. Like, what am I going to unlock next? I got a couple things in mind I got picked out, but the reality is, whatever I'm going to unlock going forward is going to be my only gun. So why would I ever use the RPK they talked about, about manufacturing 4 hours, 2 hours, whatever it is? I'm never going to use that. I'm going to use the other ones. So, like it doesn't make sense. We need to give a reason to use all these other things. The Hunter body sleeve outperforms other sleeves with so much armor. Hunter body sleeve is really good. Will it be nerfed? We have a body sleeve rebalance in the works that will bring the Hunter sleeve more in line with other options. We'll share specifics when the new balance is finalized. You mentioned last Q&A about expanding the possible tasks and objectives, but will there be weekly contracts in addition to daily ones, offering higher goals and better rewards? Yes, weekly contracts are coming. They'll feature more ambitious objectives and correspondingly high tier rewards to come in the daily challenges. That is great news. Like, again, we all started playing this game around the same time, and we all originally started off, this game is so awesome. You have all these different challenges you can do. This is so good. And over the last week, I'm hearing more and more people in real life and on Reddit talk about how it's the same old, same old. So every day, log in, same quests over and over and over. This is getting boring. So it seems like this big curve of, we can do all these things is kind of teetering off now, and it's going down. You can't see my hand, but it's teetering off there now, and it's kind of like, I don't know. What's the incentive for logging in, right? That's the thing. So if it's all the same old, it's like, well, I'm basically logging in to do PvP, I guess, or PvE, but even that, So anyway, replicator times seem inconsistent. Markov pistol PPSH-41, for example, despite having vastly different power, both take 5 seconds. The replicator does have to be rebalanced, basically. It doesn't make a lot of sense for a lot of these things. Replication times are driven by an in-lore multiverse competition model. Highly demanded items from player decisions take longer to print, while niche gear comes faster. This mechanism balances replicating versus looting and purchasing, preventing players from quickly stockpiling the same item. Like, it's not bad. It really isn't bad. Like, to make certain armor pieces, you got 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes. Make the good backpacks is like 4 hours. Like, it got it. Like, this is what I was saying before. Like, I unlocked the army backpack, which is 350 volume, and then I was like, well, I could unlock all these other backpacks, but why would I bother? Let's just unlock the 900 volume one and just stockpile that one. So that's what I did. I unlocked a 900 volume one. I spent my chrono tracer, which I never do. I spent it directly on unlocking it right away, and then over, because I have 2 replicators going with 5 slots. I had 10 book bags done by the next morning. And then I just went in and I broke down all the old ones, the mediums, the hiking. I broke them all down because, like, what do I need them for? I don't need those anymore. I'll just use the other ones. Replicator progression meant to be secondary to PvP looting. Replicator progression meant to be Is replicator progression meant to be secondary to PvP looting? Some pure PvP players feel looting yields too little compared to crafting. Absolutely. Crafting is king, as in replicating, not really crafting, but replicating. While Replicator offers predictability, PvP loot drops every piece of carry gear, potentially including high-end finds that you can't craft immediately. We also will be adding more PvP-focused tasks and rewards, so both progression and paths remain equally rewarding. That sounds interesting. New and future plans. When can we expect a reconnect feature? That's kind of important. I've had my game crash a few times, not recently, but earlier on in the cycle. And it really sucks when you do crash and, potentially you could just reconnect. Reconnecting already exists, but is currently a number of situations where it doesn't work as it should. Apparently, I guess it didn't work for me. Developers are actively troubleshooting these problems. Good to know. Is there an update on the solo only and other different squad configurations? For raids, you mentioned the last Q&A. What will they look like? Is this the sole solution to make solo play more viable for developers? We are currently experimenting with new raid modes, such as cargo port, deep cover, that implement matchmaking rules to group solo players exclusively with other solos. That's a good idea. I like that is true. So that's kind of a good idea, actually. Further trials may explore raid configuration variants that match squads only against other squads. I hope so, and I hope we get it soon because I don't know this obviously, but it seems like the wait times are getting longer and longer, which I'm assuming it means there's less and less people playing. So some of these things that are important that are possibly driving players away because they're going as a solo player and getting nerfed by getting ganged up on by three players, like that's the kind of stuff that's going to drive people away. Like you can only die so many times that where you just get pissed off and uninstall the game and move on to something else. We just had Arc Raiders. It's launching on the 30th. This game has to stay hot, even though they're kind of different games. They're both extraction shooters at the end of the day, so they are kind of in the same lane. So you don't want to lose too many people to some other games. In response to player feedback, we were also testing a new matchmaking system that will apply for all raids, placing solos against solos and squads against other squads. These changes are in internal testing now and will begin public trial soon. Excellent. Do stance changes affect recoil? Sometimes it's hard to tell. Yes, aiming and your firing stance, standing, crouch, prone, as well if you're using a bipod, should the weapon allow it, all modifies recoil and weapon sway. It absolutely does. I have seen that many times. Will there be different shotgun slugs or ammo types? For example, Dragon's Breath for Flowermen, Flechette for players and turned soldiers. Yes, we plan to expand the ammo roster with specialty rounds to give more tactical options. I'm not personally looking forward to that one because I'm not a big gun guy. And I just go back to Arc Raiders for a quick second. I actually like how they have light, medium, and high ammo because I don't have to think about it. I don't want, personally, again, me, 50,000 kinds of ammo like there is in Scum, like there is in Tarkov. I know it makes more real world sense to do that, but at the same time, I don't care. I just want to play a video game. I just want to shoot stuff. Now, that being said, if you're going to have like this game is unique though, because all your enemies are not people, right? You have rock bin, maybe a grenade launcher or some high impact ammo. Makes sense to take those guys out. We already do it with grenades. So actually I kind of agree and disagree, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Against the AI, I think it makes sense, but against the players, I don't care. That's just me though. Will there be a main quest line with characters and overarching story? I mean, it should be. The story starts off and then it just ends. We'll be adding more story-driven quests, but not a single linear campaign for now. Any hints to release or test a new faction or clan battle a game? Looking forward to see operatives have faction badges and some roleplay elements. Faction feature is still in development and likely released in 2026. You previously said the vehicles like the T-90 tank and the Ka-50 will be used in Nexus battles. Will these vehicles still be usable in raids, or are they purely PvP? I really hope they're not being used in raids. Heavy vehicles are planned for large-scale Nexus battles, and players will have the opportunity to fight with them. So yeah, Nexus. Some quick questions. Are you planning to increase the number of items purchasable with crystallized active matter? Yes. You mentioned in the last Q&A that dog tags will gain more purpose. What did you mean? Indeed, collecting dog tags serve purposes beyond being a trophy to remember your enemy's death. We'll cover more details in the future. I would say that means crafting. Do you plan to expand the shooting range's options? For example, adding the ability to customize targets to various body sleeves. That one's interesting. Yes, shooting range will receive more improvements and options. Any plans for community market or deeper economy features? Possibly. We need to collect and analyze more data and trading patterns to decide for sure. That one could be interesting. That's a Tarkov thing, but or at least my experience. But it could be interesting. Will you be adding new weapons, including ones from Japan, China, and other nations? Yes, we'll continue expanding the arsenal with firearms for a range of regions. Dude, I want a samurai katana. Huh? Huh? Or like a Viking shield, and spear. Will there be more monolith access levels since they are named after Greek letters? There could be 12 more levels. Yes, if progression and only just done, I mean they're named after Greek alphabet. If the progression pacing calls for, we may introduce additional monolith levels. I think it should, or slow it down somehow. Can we change our starting body sleeve once without replaying the monolith and buying the game again? No. Unlock a new sleeve through a monolith or obtain other starter body sleeves and self-sacrifice rewards. There's no one-time free switch. Another week, another full Q&A. So guys, this again is Active Matter. Lots of good information on the site. If you so make sure you continue to check out my videos. I put out new shorts every single day from various games, including Active Matter. I'm a Gaijin actor. I can't even say it right. My apologies, guys. I'm the Snail Guys partner for Active Matter. I'm really enjoying the game. I'm really getting back into this kind of series of games, and I hope you guys can continue and watch my journey, Omega Squad, Omega North's journey. Continue to support the stream. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and so you don't miss any new content in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next one.